How did the Florida Cup first get off the ground, and kind of what were your expectations going into that first year? You've done 5 of them now, but the first year, what were your trepidations, what were your concerns, and how did it work out?
So I learned quickly that Orlando, as an international destination, had 2 key markets, one being Brazil, the other UK. I knew that there was a hunger for internationalization for international leagues. I had a connection to Bundesliga because speaking German, playing there and knowing the guys. I had maybe done 10 preseasons in Germany in the middle of the mountains in Austria that I hadn't seen anybody. I always didn't like that time of my every year career. And there was now a movement to, commercial opportunities tied to a professional environment to train, and it seemed that here was ideal. Once I saw that and started connecting all those dots, it only made sense to, understand what generates the most media and appeal in the world. And to me, like you said, Corinthians traveling to Japan to play Chelsea, 30,000 people. What can soccer as top of mind to the whole market create a buzz around bringing their big teams, which spontaneous media year-round, right, to a place like Orlando. And not only that, playing against a team from Europe that they never get to play against, because Europe is now, the top football in the world, and South America, although they have the best players, always being sold, never get a chance to match against that. We put that together the first year. I remember we're struggling to have, the balls didn't arrive in time to put in the field. We're running around in 172 countries. We're broadcasting the match live. Going up there, got this with the cameraman and making that whole run around in a field that wasn't, it was at Wild World of Sports, the first one, so it wasn't a stadium, right?
Right.
So with all that demand and appeal and from the marketplace, we saw that there was more to do. That's how it started, like a simple tournament with a vision to become an event. We're not, football in Brazil, the soccer clubs are not that famous. How can we use the Europeans to leverage, and at the same time, how can we create music around it, the legends, different events? How can we bring influencers and create an atmosphere that is not just based on soccer? And that whole thing started to take shape, and what we see nowadays is 6 years later.
The Florida Cup week is so much more than just a couple soccer matches. There's concerts, there's legends matches, there's a fan fest, there's foot golf, there's a 5K, there's all kinds of activity. For someone who hasn't been a part of a Florida Cup yet, what does it feel like? What is the week? How does it play out, and what's your kind of cadence?
So the whole purpose of that is, look, we provide, an event for families, fans of all ages. We understand what that is in Orlando, creating that agenda of events every day where people can run. You're running in the, in a 5K inside the Universal Parks, and Kaká is going by you, or Denilson, or Zico, or whoever. And, just let alone running with the characters and doing something cool that you're actually participating, not just being a spectator of it, or watching the games, or going to the concerts and jumping and living that experience. That's, I think, the after party. You talked about the legends, going and living that arena, seeing your fans, meet and greet, doing the whole experience. I think made this unique. Obviously, everything's around soccer, but there's much more to it than just that.
One of the things that I thought, it's a small event, I guess, in the scheme of things, but I think that the foot golf sounds like a lot of fun that you've done, Pat. And I know you were telling me about having guys like Kaká and others who are, these obviously elite.
Rivaldo, World Cup, World Cup champion, best player in the world too. I think it was '98. Yeah. And those guys were in it, and they lost.
They lost. So I guess that was my question. What is it like to see some of these legends kind of in an atmosphere that's maybe not totally comfortable for them, but still kind of benefits their skill set, but apparently not as much as you'd think.
As long as it's fun for them as well. If you make it fun for them, and obviously when you do something like that, testing their accuracies, there'll be side bets, people talking trash to one another and all that. That is fun. I played it and I loved it. I actually went to Lenara Champions Gate and created the course to make it harder because the level of players got that much better. It's fun, and the engagement online on this is ridiculous because they're almost, on social media live, and people are following, and there's 100,000 views per little post, and that happens. I don't know how many times during a foot golf match. So it's a lot of fun.
So when it comes to this partnership with Florida Citrus Sports, obviously we're very excited about it. It sounds like you're very excited about it. How did it come to be? How did you get to know Steve Hogan, and how did you kind of sell him on what you're doing and how we can help make it bigger and better than ever?
So let me break down the answer here in a couple key factors. I think number one, credible organization in market. I mean, for years, entrepreneurial spirit that Steve made very clear when he met me. A hunger for big international events and entering the soccer market, which is something that I share because I want to see this bigger every year and keep growing and ultimately help support the World Cup coming to the market. And for all those reasons, I think it was an ideal partner that to be fair, I've been surprised that the group is so good. I think that they call the Florida Citrus Sports family. I haven't met every single person yet, I think, but the staff I have, and coming from where we had maybe 13 people, and sometimes doing too much in different areas and not having the whole expertise, and knowing that now you will, with people that value this, share this vision and willing to take to the next level. I think Steve made all that clear from the beginning. To the conversations was never what are we going to do together. No, it's what can we do more and bigger for this market. What are my strengths? What are my flaws? How can we complement one another? And it seemed that it all kind of came together nicely. And now we're in the a year that COVID has thrown us a curveball, but we are all positive that it's something we have to get by, and continue to push forward and make it happen, because we see the big vision down the road. Especially, like I said, path to the World Cup 2026 is going to be a hot market for
Right.
international soccer.
So when we talk about the growth of the event, I think that what do you mean exactly? We're talking bigger teams, bigger brands that are coming to be a part of it. How do you kind of characterize how you see growth playing out?
So I think there are 12 big clubs in the world that are at a different level. Maybe top 5 or 6 that are really at a different level. But sure enough, those are global brands. Those are in Europe. They never had the break in the winter to come. So not to say they didn't, like Ajax, for example, we brought one year, but you mean the Man United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern, Liverpool, Arsenal, like so many of those clubs that by years of Champions League history and all that.
Right.
They only have a break in the summer. Naturally, there's a big investment to make it happen. We didn't want to go everywhere creating games. We wanted to focus in Orlando, focus on a technical sounded preseason for them, but that we can also commercially explore and make it a big event for all the right reasons. That is a win-win for us, clubs, we call it partner clubs that are participating, obviously the companies in town, the key markets and partners that are sending people here that are willing to come to see live a unique experience. So that all takes resources, because if you announce something with a club like that, or if you put something out in the market, I mean, we've done the research, is sold out stadiums, media value, content generation, appeal domestically now, and then you open a different demographics that will come to the games versus what we had, which is a big international following, whether 25% coming from abroad or from a different state, another 25% and 50% local. They were still all mainly a Latin group, a diverse group. Really, it wasn't the true Americans that are impacted by those global brands that we had not yet brought. So that changes a lot. It opens now you bring in the world to what was already working and happening, and continue hopefully to generate that appeal and media in some key places like South America. But now bring Europe, bring Asia, bring the domestic American market in a year like this COVID, which will be important.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I think, what changes, and that is a different level, it's a different ball game, and we're working together with the whole team, Steve and everyone aligned to make that happen. And it will be steps. We have to somehow make 2021 with all the restrictions and things happen, focus on media and all those things, but plant the seeds as we grow, and hopefully 2022 we're back to normal. We can feel what that is, and Qatar is going to happen. Next World Cup will be in the United States, 23 on. I mean, it's just exciting, times ahead of us.
we're looking ahead to the 2021 tournament. We're excited about it. There's still a lot of pieces to put together and things to figure out, but it's coming. How excited are you for the next several months and kind of whether it's announcing teams or announcing events or other things? You got to be thrilled for what's to come.
Yeah, I mean it's nice to see the light in the end of the tunnel there. I mean, you obviously have your safety protocols. You keep that in mind first and do all the things properly and correct. So the environment is safe for teams to train, for people to come enjoy and watch. But as you see the path of the vaccination and hopefully things begin to open more, it might be just the right timing of this coming together. Naturally, it's easy to say now, but the planning takes time way before. So we have to be, I guess, almost on our toes all the time for things that could change as we get from here there. But the choice of lying dead and letting it pass and doing 2022 just because it's easier is not an option. We're gonna make it happen some way. If it needs to be adjusted because I don't know, the fan fest has to be reduced because of this and that. We don't know what could be. We will make the best of it, and we believe that it will be a nice, I think, coming out of the summer of celebration of life, if you will. And we look to forward to see everyone there smiling again and living those unique moments, because in the end that's what you work for. Every day to get out with your families and friends and live moments like that. So we have some, I cannot tell you now, obviously, but we have some things in the works that are very exciting, and we'll hopefully be
we'll see
coming
what's
out soon with a press conference or something of the sort. So at the right time again, you're a call on that, and can't wait.